Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today, we have an exciting and emotional journey to discuss, one that intertwines love, memory, and destiny. Trina Robinson stands at a major crossroads in her life, and her next steps could change everything. Will she choose to embrace a new future, or will her past come calling in ways she never expected? And what about Spencer Cassadine? Could he still be alive, lost in the very city where Trina might return? Let's break it all down and analyze every detail of this heart-wrenching yet thrilling storyline. The mystery of Spencer Cassadine, a man without a past, wandering the city of love. Spencer Cassadine was presumed dead after a tragic fall into the Seine, an incident orchestrated by the ever-dangerous Esme Prince. His disappearance left Trina shattered, and for a long time, she found it impossible to move on. But what if the truth was more complicated than anyone imagined? In the hidden corners of Paris, a young man walks the streets with no recollection of who he once was. Stripped of his identity, Spencer has been living a life disconnected from the privileged existence he once knew in Port Charles. His memories, so integral to who he was, have become mere shadows, whispers in the back of his mind that he cannot quite grasp. The thought of Spencer surviving but having no recollection of Trina is both heartbreaking and fascinating. What kind of life has he been leading? Is he living on the streets, struggling to piece together the fragments of his existence? Or has someone taken him in, perhaps feeding him lies about his past to manipulate him for their own gain? Paris is a city of art, culture, and beauty, but it is also a place of secrets, and Spencer's missing past is one of its most intriguing mysteries. Perhaps certain sights and sounds begin to trigger something within him. A melody drifting from a cafe, a painting in the Louvre, or even the scent of a familiar perfume could send shivers down his spine, unlocking emotions he doesn't understand. Could his lost memories resurface in unexpected ways? If so, how long before he starts searching for the missing pieces of his identity? And what happens when Trina, unknowingly, steps into this same world, so close to the man she once loved yet entirely unaware of his presence? Could fate truly be this cruel, or does it have grander plans for these star-crossed lovers? Trina's second chance at Paris, a journey of growth, loss, and discovery. For Trina Robinson, life in Port Charles has finally started to regain a sense of normalcy. After enduring immense heartbreak, she has found solace in her friendships, her studies, and the possibility of new romance with Kai Taylor. Living with her best friend, Jocelyn Jacques, has provided a sense of stability, and for the first time in a long time, she is considering what her future might look like. But then, the letter arrives. The Sorbonne, the prestigious university she once dreamed of attending, is offering her another chance. A rare invitation to study abroad, a golden opportunity to immerse herself in the very world she once longed for. At first, Trina is hesitant. Paris represents a painful chapter in her life, a city that took the love of her life away from her. Would returning be a betrayal of Spencer's memory, or would it be a step forward toward the bright future he would have wanted for her? She turns to those closest to her for guidance. Dr. Portia Robinson, ever the protective mother, worries about her daughter diving into the unknown once again. Curtis Ashford, a man who understands what it means to wrestle with the past, advises her to follow her heart. Jocelyn, ever the loyal friend, encourages her to take the chance but reminds her that leaving Port Charles means stepping away from the life she's just begun to rebuild. And then there's Kai. He has been a comforting presence in Trina's life, someone who has supported her in ways she never expected. But would he be willing to wait for her? If she leaves, would she be closing the door on something new before it even has a chance to begin? The decision weighs heavily on her. A part of her is terrified of moving forward, of embracing a future that no longer includes Spencer. But deep down, she knows that she can't let grief define her forever. Perhaps, just perhaps, Paris holds more for her than she ever imagined. A love story in limbo. Will Trina and Spencer ever find their way back to each other? The stage is set for one of the most emotional and gripping storylines in General Hospital history. Trina and Spencer, once inseparable, now exist in two vastly different worlds, yet their fates seem intertwined in ways neither of them can control. The question remains, will they cross paths? The dramatic irony is almost unbearable. Trina, believing that Spencer is gone, contemplates her return to Paris, while Spencer, lost in the same city, struggles to find himself. The possibility of near misses, of fleeting encounters where they unknowingly brush past each other, adds to the suspense. Imagine the moment when Trina, wandering the streets of Paris, walks by a cafe where Spencer sits, oblivious to her presence. Or when she attends a gallery exhibit, unknowingly looking at the same painting that Spencer has been staring at for hours, trying to recall why it feels familiar. The writers of General Hospital have an incredible opportunity to weave a tale of slow-burning suspense, where each step Trina takes toward her new future brings her closer to uncovering a truth she never saw coming. And when that moment finally arrives, when their eyes finally meet and recognition dawns, what will happen next? Will Spencer's memories return in a flood of overwhelming emotion? Or will he still be lost, unable to recognize the woman who once meant everything to him? One thing is certain, their love story is far from over. The big questions that keep us guessing. As fans, we are left with so many burning questions. Will Trina accept the Sorbonne's invitation and take a leap of faith into the unknown? Is Spencer doomed to wander Paris forever, or will fate intervene? Will Trina and Spencer find each other again, or will their reunion be delayed even longer? Could Esme still be lurking in the shadows, ready to strike once more? And what role will Kai play in all of this? Will he be Trina's future, or just a stepping stone back to Spencer? The beauty of this storyline lies in its unpredictability. There are so many possible directions it could take, each more compelling than the last. Whatever happens, one thing is clear, General Hospital fans are in for an emotional roller coaster filled with love, loss, and destiny. What do you think? Should Trina leave Port Charles and embrace this new chapter in her life? Will Spencer ever regain his memories? And if they do reunite, will their love still be as strong as it once was? Next, we're diving into one of the most controversial and shocking moments in General Hospital history, the exit of Cyrus Renaud. The recent storyline has sparked intense reactions from fans, with many questioning the decision to remove such a compelling character. Was it a mistake? Could there have been a better way to handle his departure? And what does this mean for the future of Port Charles? Let's break it all down and take a deep dive into this dramatic turn of events. What's next in Port Charles? A storyline that leaves many questions unanswered. Whenever a major character exits General Hospital, fans immediately begin speculating about what comes next. The departure of Cyrus Renaud has left a significant gap in the show's ongoing narrative, one that will be difficult to fill. Port Charles has seen its fair share of villains, but very few have managed to hold the audience's attention the way Cyrus did. His presence on the show wasn't just about being the antagonist, he brought a level of complexity, unpredictability, and depth that made every scene with him mesmerizing. The real question now is how the show will move forward without him. Will another villain step up to take his place, or will there be an entirely new shift in the show's dynamic? Some fans have already expressed disappointment, wishing that instead of killing him off, the writers had chosen to keep him locked away in Ferncliff, where his influence could still loom over Port Charles. Others have suggested that his storyline should have ended in a dramatic hostage situation involving Liz and the PCPD, leaving the door open for a future return. With so much uncertainty surrounding the show's direction, General Hospital viewers will have to stay tuned to see how the writers handle the aftermath of Cyrus's departure. Will the show be able to maintain the same level of intensity without him? Or will the loss of his character leave an irreplaceable void? Fan reactions. Social media erupts over Cyrus's exit. It's no surprise that General Hospital fans are extremely vocal about their opinions, and Cyrus's departure has sent social media into a frenzy. Many took to Twitter, Facebook, and fan forums to express their disappointment, frustration, and even disbelief at how the storyline played out. One fan wrote, "Another unacceptable casualty in this ongoing saga. This is how they say goodbye to this actor/character? I was hoping they would turn this storyline around. Wow, just wow." This sentiment was echoed by many others who felt that the show had prematurely ended a storyline with so much potential. Another viewer commented, "I thought he was the one who wanted to leave, but that wasn't the case. Wish they hadn't written Cyrus into a corner where he'd either have to go to prison or be offed. Sorry to see him go." This raises an interesting point. Should the writers have left a loophole for Cyrus to make a future comeback? And of course, in true soap opera fashion, fans have already started brainstorming ways for the show to bring him back. One particularly hopeful fan tweeted, "Please let him have a twin brother and bring him back. Or better still, let this be a dream sequence." Jeff Kober is one of my favorites. He's mesmerizing on screen. The passion from fans highlights just how powerful Cyrus's presence was on the show. His departure wasn't just another storyline, it was an event that struck an emotional chord with the audience. Cyrus Renaud, the unexpected casualty that shocked Port Charles. Of all the character deaths in General Hospital, Cyrus's stands out as one of the most unexpected. He wasn't just another villain, he was a master manipulator, a complex individual who kept viewers guessing about his true intentions. Unlike one-dimensional antagonists who exist only to be defeated, Cyrus had layers. His interactions with Laura, his backstory, and his strategic mind all made him more than just a standard bad guy. That's what makes his sudden exit so surprising. Actor Jeff Kober has been a fan favorite since his first appearance in Port Charles, and his portrayal of Cyrus was nothing short of captivating. In an interview with Soap Opera Digest, Kober hinted that he had hoped to stay on the show longer, but ultimately, the writers had different plans. This revelation has only fueled more disappointment among fans, who believe the show made a critical error in letting him go. Had the writers chosen a different path, could Cyrus have had a redemption arc? Or was his fate always sealed from the beginning? Some fans argue that he deserved a more elaborate send-off, while others believe the decision to kill him was simply a misstep in storytelling. The writer's dilemma: did General Hospital make the right call? The decision to kill off a major character is never made lightly. Writers must weigh the impact it will have on the ongoing storyline, the reaction of fans, and the potential ripple effect on other characters. In the case of Cyrus, his removal from the show has certainly caused waves, but were they the right ones? Some argue that his death was necessary to push the storyline forward, forcing other characters to evolve and setting the stage for new conflicts. Others believe that eliminating such a compelling character will ultimately weaken the show's narrative. One major issue is that Cyrus's exit feels final. In the world of soap operas, deaths are often ambiguous, leaving room for a return. However, the way this storyline played out suggests that the writers wanted to close the book on Cyrus Renaud for good. If that's the case, it would mean shutting the door on future plotlines that could have kept audiences engaged. However, never say never in the world of soap operas. Could the writers find a way to bring him back? Perhaps through flashbacks, a surprise twist, or even the classic "it was all a setup" reveal? What this means for the future of General Hospital. With Cyrus gone, Port Charles must now move forward, but the question remains, who will fill the void he left behind? His character was unique, bringing an edge to the show that few others could. Now, General Hospital must introduce a new storyline strong enough to keep viewers invested. Could another villain rise to take his place? Perhaps someone even more dangerous, with their own complex motivations? Or will the show shift its focus to more personal dramas and character-driven conflicts? For fans, the hope is that whatever comes next will be just as engaging as what came before. Cyrus Renaud may be gone, but his impact on General Hospital is undeniable. His departure has sparked heated debates, strong emotions, and a lingering sense of what if? Only time will tell if this decision will pay off, but one thing is certain, Port Charles will never be the same. Final thoughts, was it a mistake? Let's discuss. Now that we've broken it all down, it's time to hear from you. Do you think killing off Cyrus was the right move, or was it a huge mistake? Should the writers have given him a different ending, perhaps one that left room for a return? If Cyrus doesn't come back, who do you think should take his place as the show's main antagonist? And if he does return, how do you think the writers could make it happen? Next, we're diving into one of the most talked about controversies in General Hospital, the recasting of Lucky Spencer. Fans have been buzzing about this unexpected change, and the debates are only growing louder. Why did this happen? Is the new actor winning over viewers, or is his portrayal falling flat? More importantly, what does this mean for the future of Lucky's character? Let's break it all down and explore every angle of this shocking development. What's next for Lucky Spencer? A character in flux. For longtime General Hospital fans, Lucky Spencer has always been a key player in the show's most dramatic and emotional storylines. His relationships, struggles, and triumphs have been deeply intertwined with the fabric of Port Charles, making any major change to his character a subject of intense debate. Recently, the show's writers threw Lucky into the heart of the action, particularly in a confrontation with the ever-dangerous Cyrus Renaud. However, fans couldn't help but feel that something was off, not with the storyline itself, but with the actor portraying Lucky. With Jonathan Jackson stepping away temporarily, the role had been recast with Guy Wilson, and let's just say, the reaction has been polarizing. Some viewers were frustrated by Elizabeth's minimal role in the tense scene between Lucky and Cyrus. A fan commented, "I'm not liking this version of JJ. Too bad the writers couldn't have Elizabeth do anything to help in the fight between Lucky and Cyrus. She called 911. That's it? Why didn't she grab that lamp and smash it against Cyrus' head? Or actually get into the physical fight itself?" This sentiment highlights not only concerns about Lucky's recasting but also frustration with how the action unfolded. Could the writers have structured the scene differently to make it more impactful? And does the current version of Lucky have what it takes to keep viewers invested in his storyline? Fan reactions, a divided audience over the new Lucky Spencer. When it comes to soap operas, fans are never shy about sharing their opinions, and the General Hospital community is no exception. Social media has been flooded with reactions, some supportive, but many deeply critical, about the current state of Lucky Spencer's character. One particularly harsh critique read, "His filthy head of hair and whatever that is on his face looks nasty and disgusting. And he and Liz look ridiculous together." While this comment is more about aesthetics than performance, it underscores how personal and emotional fans can get about their beloved characters. Soap operas have a way of making audiences feel like they know these characters intimately, so any drastic change, especially a recast, can be jarring. Another fan offered a different perspective, being heavily storyline-driven, "We need the character of Lucky right now. But frankly, it wouldn't bother me in the least were they to recast the part permanently. I've never cared for JJ. I never thought he was a very good actor, and even more so now. This raises an interesting debate. Is it time for General Hospital to commit to a permanent new Lucky? Or is Jonathan Jackson too deeply associated with the role to be replaced long-term? The recasting controversy. Why was Lucky Spencer temporarily recast? The biggest question on everyone's mind is, why is Guy Wilson playing Lucky instead of Jonathan Jackson? After all, Jackson recently signed a multi-year contract in 2024 when he returned, so it seems unlikely that he was let go. One possible explanation? Scheduling conflicts. A well-informed fan speculated, since JJ signed a multi-year contract in 2024 when he returned, it's highly unlikely that he's going to be released already. Odds are that he had a prior commitment that needed to be cleared up that was approved during his negotiations. If that's the case, then Wilson's tenure as Lucky may be short-lived. But even if this recast is only temporary, it still raises an important issue. Should soap operas avoid recasting pivotal characters for short-term gaps, or is it better to keep the storylines moving, even if it means a jarring transition? Some fans would rather see Lucky written out for a brief period than have someone else step into the role, even temporarily. Others argue that keeping Lucky in the storyline, even with a different actor, is better than putting the character on hold. Either way, it's clear that the show's decision has sparked a heated debate, and it remains to be seen whether Guy Wilson's performance will win over skeptical viewers or if fans will be counting down the days until Jonathan Jackson returns. The challenge of recasting iconic characters. Recasting is nothing new in the world of soap operas, but some characters are more difficult to replace than others. Lucky Spencer, having been played by Jonathan Jackson for years, has a very specific presence on the show, one that fans have grown deeply attached to. For an actor stepping into a recast role, the challenge is enormous. Not only do they have to quickly adapt to an established character, but they also have to win over an audience that may already be skeptical. Some recasts have been wildly successful, with actors making the role their own and even surpassing their predecessors in popularity. Others, however, have struggled to be accepted, no matter how talented they are. So far, Wilson's portrayal of Lucky seems to be receiving mixed reviews. Some fans feel he lacks the depth and emotional intensity that Jackson brought to the role, while others are more open-minded, willing to give him a chance to grow into the character.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.